WBGX Harvey, Chicago. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIIFTBPN.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIIFTBPN.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIIFTBPN.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIIFTBPN. TVPM.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve us.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of three. Let's go.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, you got here quite a bit early today. Threw my whole, what's my circadian clock off. Because I went to the bathroom. I came back, and when I came back, I saw a coat in your chair. I was like, the ghost of Todd? Then I saw you over by the Keurig machine trying to figure out. Now we get a Keurig machine, Todd trying to figure out the tea.
Oh,
I'm like, I didn't even know Keurigs made tea.
Did you figure it out?
I don't know if they do.
They do.
Todd
They do.
said
Hot
he
water.
still uses a tea. He said he uses a teapot.
I got a teapot. We got to buy a teapot every year because, they get all crusty and stuff.
No, you get hot water.
You talking about a kettle thing that you put on the stove?
A kettle. That's exactly.
I
right.
used to love those. We
that's
used to
what-
have that.
yeah.
It used to be one that lived.
Man, you're
on that kettle.
talking like kettles don't exist anymore. Everybody uses that kettle.
No one uses a kettle.
do y'all leave it sitting on y'all stove?
Yeah.
Now that's black. Okay, Todd.
Okay, now that is black. So it never goes away.
That never goes away.
Keep
Right.
on the
Okay.
stove.
Okay. So that's cool. You know what? That reminds me. That makes me feel like comfortable from the old school. Like my mom and them used to have a kettle. When I was a kid, we used to have a kettle on all the time on the thing, and I used to hate when I had to drink tea. Did you drink? Remember? You know what?
I like tea.
You know what?
I used to like whiskey and honey.
That.
Now we know your problem, Ruthie.
All right. That's Todd.
You know, but my grandmother used to always say,
know.
"Yeah, you need a little hot toddy when you're sick."
Oh no! You know what?
I stayed coughing.
I remember the hot toddy though. The hot toddy. I remember my parents would like every once in a while when I would get sick, my old man would give me a hot toddy, and I would be like, it seemed like you would be sweating. Then the next thing you'll get under the covers, and then you'll pop out. Like, man, the hot toddy was no joke.
Yeah, that's because you was high. You was like, "What?"
No, that was drunk. Trust me.
Alvin said wood burning stove. My grandparents had a wood burning stove.
Really?
Absolutely.
Pim.
Pembroke.
I'm
rule.
sure my grandparents had it too, but that was like 1930 something.
No, I'm talking.
Out in the ranch.
I'm talking all the times. Wood outside, chopping the wood. Yeah.
What?
I told you I'm a survivalist, Maze.
You didn't have an outhouse, did you?
Not an outhouse.
Uh-oh. Why? I don't like how you describe
Yeah,
that.
right. We
Not
had a
an
bucket.
outhouse.
We had a bucket, and it worked.
It was a hole in the back. It was.
Not an outhouse.
Oh, did you ever see the story of Jameis Winston? Did you ever watch
With the
Jameis
crab legs.
Winston?
When he stole the crab legs.
Oh, well, that's the one who stole the crab legs, but he was talking about they had him
He
on.
stole crab legs.
Yeah, that's one of the allegedly. But
Allegedly.
he was talking about when he lived in his house, they took him back to his and he lived in a straight up shack, and he was like, it was a place where they all used to pee,
Oh,
like by the door.
by the door
I saw that. I know what you're
You
talking
know
about.
exactly what I'm talking. That I was like,
in a bucket.
no,
They made like a little trough type of thing.
Oh, did it run outside or something?
no, it was just outside, like by the.
Oh, you
It
were
was-
outside already.
It was just it. You know what? I'm gonna stop because it's too much for this early in the morning. But the Jameis Winston, I
Public
was like,
health department would have been there at any moment if it was.
no, well, you know, not
That's
where he was
rural.
from.
It's rural.
Rural.
He was in Florida.
Yeah. You know, I used to be scared to go to Florida because my parents used to tell me there was still slaves in Florida, like in the woods. They'd be like, no.
Who knows? I'm not going too deep in there.
I ain't messing around. All right, y'all. This is the Mace Jackson Show. That was Todd Stroger. I don't know how we got there, but Ruthie Moore. Oh, because Ruthie Moore was telling us about the wood burning stove. So wait, hold on.
Legit, a wood burning
Like
stove.
like the kind that's round, and then you put the stuff in it, and then you strike a match. How
Not-
did you turn it up and down?
Oh my goodness. You got to adjust the chimney in the bottom.
Oh, how much airflow is coming in?
Yeah, how much of the airflow.
Of course.
I'm telling you, Pembroke was a place to grow up where I got a taste of like some old school type of things, which helps me to be a survivalist to this day.
Where did you go to? Where did you go to? Like, what school did you go to? How'd you get there?
Of course you walk.
She had to
Of course
walk.
you walk the 50 miles per day.
Right.
So in Pembroke, the way schools work is the buses actually come to the house.
Right.
So the bus will literally stop in front of the house, take you to school.
It's not like that in Bolingbrook. No, I guess Bolingbrook was like a big suburb.
You probably had to walk to a corner or something.
You know what? So okay, I'm gonna tell y'all this story. One time when they was building Route 53, because when I first moved to Bolingbrook, Route 53 was a 2-lane highway, and so when they were building it, they wouldn't allow us to cross it. Like I could cross it regularly, but under construction, so they had buses come pick us up. But because it was only 3 of us, they made us take the short bus, but literally the short bus, right? Like back in the day, you know, like the short bus was like the bus. So it was 3 of us that were all like regular, and then everybody else on the bus was like on the short bus,
Right.
and it was like I can't even describe it. However, yes, we know that was the only time I had a bus. And then after that, it was like I literally walked 2 miles to school. Like I legit walked 2 miles to school every day to go to Bolingbrook High School, and I walked a mile to go to BJ Ward. And I'm gonna tell you, my parents, like how the kids get rides now.
Uh-huh.
Like my kids be looking like what time we leaving for school. My parents would be like, it's gonna take you about 45 minutes to walk them 2 hours, and 45 minutes before it was time, I'd be on the trunk. But it would be a whole caravan of kids walking to school.
Oh,
Just,
all together.
it was no, you walked with your pack. Like it was like I would on the way to school, I would meet Kurt and Brett,
Right.
and then we would pick up Robert, and then it was almost like a school bus route, but everybody was walking until you got old enough to get a car, and then it was the people who had cars, and then it was the people who still had to walk. And then the people, but the only people who got the rides were like the people who got the free lunches.
uh-huh.
The free lunches got the bus rides. I'm telling you,
It was wild to me when I moved to Chicago and I learned that CP, like the kids had to get to school on their own. It threw me off.
Yep,
I said,
2
they
buses.
take the city buses.
Now that threw me off too. I was like, man, how do they make it? Man, I did think like, man, I still haven't taken public. I don't think I've ever ridden a city bus that wasn't like,
2 buses, 1 train.
no, like I've never ridden a city bus unless it was like under control of like the cooling station or something.
But
I've
that was a
ridden
big
the
deal,
L to
freshman.
the
That was a
Cubs
big deal.
game like 3 times. But man, public transportation, after all the stories I hear about people getting you on the L, I'm like, yeah.
When I left,
I did ride the L one time from one end of Bud Billiken to the other because my car was on the wrong side.
Right.
You know, once you
that
get
always
stuck-
happens. Yeah. But when I left the house, my parents are.
You had a key. You was a latch
They
key.
were asleep.
You was a latchkey kid.
In high school, yes.
You're not a latchkey kid in high school.
Right.
You're a latchkey kid in 3rd grade.
Yeah, no.
Right?
I was not that young. Maybe I think in
3rd
5th grade, maybe.
3rd grade, I had a key. I was walking to school. I was walking home. I was letting myself in. I was locking all the doors behind me. And then the phone would ring, and I better be home by 3:30.
You better answer that
Right?
thing, huh?
And you answer it, and it would be my mom would call, and I'd be like, hi. She'd be like, this is Gene Jackson. Or I'd have to call Gene Jackson at Deltac. I remember Deltac. She used to work at Deltac. And then my old man, he had one of them crazy jobs where he was on call, so he would just pop up on you, right? Like he'd just be like, "Bing, I'm at home," and then like you couldn't never plot because
You never knew.
You like while everybody else snuck out, right after school or did. I was like, man, I ain't going nowhere. This dude will be popping back up, and he was the type that'll creep up on you, like he'll roll up. You'll be right in the midst of doing something. The car is loud as a mug any other time. And then you about to do something. Everybody else behind you is like, don't do it. Because you looking at them. And it's like, he will always be right like behind you. Be like, damn!
I wouldn't be able to take the pressures of a pop-up parent because we knew exactly what time my mama was coming home, and that is within the 15 minutes that we did our chores. and then you guys got to act normal when she walk in the door.
You know what? Did you have to do chores? Did you have to do chores, Todd?
We had our assignments and things we were supposed to do, yeah.
I had like straight chores. Like I had to clean both bathrooms. We're going to talk about that too a little bit later. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson.
Also, Sonia, 3 buses and an L.
3 buses and an L. Man, any of them were you ever were in danger? Let's talk about that because I don't know about that. 3 buses. Yeah, I'm with you, Ruthie. I was like, but I was always walking to school. Now,
But it's
the
at the
thing
same
was,
time, all the other students are doing it, so you're not that scared.
Exactly.
Got it.
Everybody.
It was fun.
well, it was, you
A
know
couple
what?
months that I did it.
Even though you leave the house
Cars.
like right now and it's dark as heck, but everybody else is
And
doing
don't
it.
let it be wintertime. I was like, how do these kids make it to school?
Oh no, they probably don't. That's why Cooley High. That's all you saw Cooley High. That's what I thought about. I used to think y'all had to ride on the back of the bus. Right? Like,
Jump, hold on.
hey y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. You know, however, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
WIFTBPN.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore.
Oh, you gotta say what's up to Sonia.
I did say, did I say what's up to Sonia? Hey, Sonia, we didn't even get the plane up, so let's say, Sonia, how you feeling this morning?
Hey, I'm feeling good. Shout out to Kenny Cool and Kenneth Steele for the stars.
You know, thank you for all the people hitting us with the stars, and T. Renee as well. Kenneth Steele, yeah, okay, cool. I see y'all. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Christopher Devine too. Hey y'all, I gotta run through some of these headlines real quick. Let's get the soul plane. Look, Sonia like, you don't want to take it off. I'm gonna hit the gas on you anyway. 60,000 feet. What? We getting up? Look down to the left. All right. Don't hit the Sears Tower. Yeah, I can't wait for Crave to get back and put up the soul plane.
The Sears Tower. What's that?
You from Kankakee anyway. Ain't nobody listening.
Pray for you.
You from Pembroke.
You mean the Willis Tower?
And they about to sell it again.
What is gonna be this time, y'all?
I don't know. Madigan Tower. He gonna be like, how many times Madigan gonna make money? You wanna be thinking like he like every time they sell it, he be like, I can get you another 25 million. Let me stop. Okay. Hey, pay attention. I just want to point out something. Yesterday, I was watching at the MWRD, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I noticed that there were a lot of liberal people who were calling for a moratorium on ethics reform.
Wait, that means to stop.
So I'm loath to talk about these things, so I'm not going to talk about them, but I am going to mention that it is amazing to me that with all of the challenges around ethics in this state, that a black woman leads the charge to ethics reform, and now all of a sudden certain liberal organizations are now calling for a moratorium on said ethics reform. Todd, why did you make that face?
Oh, because Ruthie said,
So I want you all to pay attention to that, because I think it's interesting to watch the difference in how.
When's the next meeting?
I'm gonna find out when the
Watch
next
party.
meeting. We should set it as a watch party, and we should all, I think we should all just start watching, because there's another election coming up,
right?
and essentially, it's amazing to me to see that there's been a fight for ethics reform for years and years and years and years, and now the reformers are now questioning the reform after it's being lit, and I'm not taking it personal. But I do think that it would be very important for Black people to pay attention to this. I think it is classic, and I'm going to let it be. I'm going to move on. Budget battle is looming. A budget battle is looming. The mayor talking about she cutting 500 jobs. I think she upped the number so she could get it back to 300.
Ooh.
Right? So
now
they could be like,
that's a negotiation tactic.
But it's okay. It's gonna be nasty out here. She's making it real ugly so she can bring it back and be like, we could all be like,
it's gonna be ugly no matter what. But I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think she's gonna try and give people their concessions now. You need to check that out though. Speaking of the mayor, you all need to check out City So Real. The premiere is Sunday at 7 p.m. Hey, I was on a Zoom. For those ladies out there who know, and fellas too, anybody know about the show The View?
Oh, yeah.
So yesterday, Sonny Hostin from The View interviewed me right here in the office. And she invited Carrie and I to be her guests on The View. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That's awesome.
But City So Real.
She's the only reason I watch.
City
Clips.
So Real. I like Whoopi. City So Real. And I'm the only reason I even pretend to watch is because Carrie. But anyway, City So Real, which is a review of the mayoral election that elected Lori Lightfoot, and then an additional episode that was filmed a year later in the midst of the pandemic will be debuting on Nat Geo this Sunday night at 7 p.m. Yours truly, Ruthie, Sonia, Tennille, all featured in it. Todd,
No, I'm not in.
Your name might be in
Todd,
it.
you might be in it in the first one, but I'm in the first episode and the fifth episode. But the fifth episode also documents the launch of What's in It for the Black People Media.
I was
so
nervous.
Well, I'm gonna tell y'all. Ruthie is like, man, you gonna be big time. They gonna be calling you.
That is not appealing to me at all.
Your friends because let me tell you, this is first of all, this was shot by Steve James. Y'all know Steve James shot Hoop Dreams, right? Hoop Dreams and the Allen Iverson film. So I'm just telling you, the white people are gonna love you. And y'all know yesterday I had to keep it real, y'all.
You kept it a buck.
I kept it a buck. 50. Woo wee. Speaking of 50, did y'all see 50 Cent endorsed? See how I did that? 50 Cent. See 50 Cent endorsed Donald Trump yesterday?
Yes, I already put on my Facebook. And why do I care?
I think that 50 courts controversy.
Exactly.
And he was like, wait a minute. Ice Cube is getting all the hate right now. That could be mine.
That could be
mine. However, when I did see Biden's tax rates, I was kind of like, wait a minute, dog. Y'all tripping now. Y'all are really tripping. These numbers they talk about, these taxes, I really think y'all should reconsider these taxes. Let me stop.
STOP.
Did you see that the Republicans are claiming that Kim Fox is in a dead heat? Now, I think she will benefit tremendously from the fact that Black people are motivated to vote against Donald Trump. And so I think that will help. I think that will be the saving grace in this campaign.
I think they're trying to lure out.
I think they're trying to lure her out. I think, she's just two of the richest white guys in the world. Michael Sachs and Fred Eichner both gave her $250,000 so that she could have enough money to
hire me.
No. Hire
That'll
you.
that'll do it.
Now, Todd, unless you put down signs in dirt, you will not be getting hired by any Democratic campaign in Illinois.
I'll put some dirt signs in dirt. Just give me the check.
Cut the check.
Unfortunately, that's how we
Is
stay
there an
where
office
we
job
are.
for me? Like,
Could
be cold.
No.
That would just be my side job, man. I got a real job already.
We got to check on this immigrant court I heard they passed in Springfield. I mean, not in Springfield, in the county. And the other thing, speaking of Springfield, do any of you all read the Capitol Facts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I think that black folks need to start watching and reading the Capitol Facts. There's a subscriber edition, which you have to pay for, but there is also the open dialogue. I mean, there's like the public page, Capitol, CAPITOLFAX. It is the Springfield Insider's Guide and Bible to what is happening in Springfield. And I really thought yesterday I was reading it, and what's so good about it and bad about it at the same time is that it is people commenting anonymously. But it was amazing to read the comment section on the white folks talking about the Bridget Degnan theft of the social equity program.
How they feel?
How they feel? Let's read.
They were kind of like, "Come on, man! How long does she have to wait to steal the black people's money?"
It's just business.
It was amazing to read because at no point was social equity even the debate. It was her freedom to make money off of her job. Now, what was also interesting is they went through a list of all the Cook County commissioners, and which is why they were all quiet pretty much, because they all chair committees that are essentially in the business line that they have in their part-time job. Now, who wasn't on the list? Mostly was black people because they full-time legislators. But all the white people was like, man, it's so crazy in Illinois. You know,
When I was in Springfield, I was on the insurance committee, and we lost the House to the Republicans. And the chairman of the committee was an insurance agent. He was an independent insurance agent, even in 1994 or whatever that was.
Right.
I was like, this don't seem right.
Wow.
But it's the Illinois way, and it's so crazy to me. It's why it's why that same thing that you're talking about is why somebody can confidently come up in front of you and say, I took 2 out of the 5. That's exactly why, because it is the way this structure is built. It is built to rape, rob, and pillage the land legally. It's the Maze Jackson Show. When we come back, it's time for the social media question. Oh, did y'all see the story that they are alleging that Mayor Lori Lightfoot told Eddie Johnson to control
Johnson?
No. I'll tell y'all when we come back. I'll tell you on the break. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
Uh-oh.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like May said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool.
I'm out. How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
the most dangerous show in the morning. Back to the Maze Jackson Show. It's time for the social media question of the day.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruth and more, Sonia Escobar, all in the building. All right, y'all, it's time for the social media question of the day, and I am going to tell you, I want to give credit where credit is due. This social media question of the day was, I was scrolling through my timeline, and one of my fraternity brothers, Mikal Harris, shout out to one of my frat brothers, Mikal Harris, also a captain. You know, so he also from my undergrad chapter, the excellent Epsilon Xi chapter. But let me just say this: he was going through his, I was going through his post, and he said, he posted yesterday, "No, I am not voting for Trump, but it is a shame that if I was, I would lose some lifelong friends." And I scrolled through it because I expected it to be like, oh, no, man. Oh, no. We've been friends forever. That's your choice. If that's what you do, that's what you do. Surprisingly, there were, I would say it was 50-50 with like 100 comments.
I was going to leave your ass.
Right. I'm tired you popping out today. But it really got me to thinking about us as black folks. Right? Just how we can be divided, especially by white people. And so it made me ask the social media question today, and I want y'all to open up the phone lines. She like, look, Ruthie, like, you showing me up here, Sonia. She like, how you got it open already?
That's what I sound like. She got a button back there.
She like, thinking brains. He said social media question of the day, and he was gonna start asking. Here's what I want to know: would you cancel a friendship if you knew someone voted for Donald Trump?
I've canceled friendships because they took my fries. I wanted something before I bought it.
I think Sonia has a point there, though.
All right. Did you ever play Left Hand Give It Up?
What?
Or Left Hand Dirty Snatch?
No, that's suburban stuff, I'm sure.
Nah, if you ever had something you was holding in your left hand, I could slap it out your hand or I could take it.
No, that's fighting.
But anyway, would you cancel a friendship over a Trump voter? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Now, I was really looking at this and saying to myself, would somebody really cancel a friend over this? Under what circumstances? Well, first of all, let me ask you this. Ruthie, is there any way that you would cancel a friend because they voted for, because of who they voted for? And does Trump make a difference? So, for instance, is it the Trump factor? First of all, if you had a friend that said, yeah, I'm voting for Trump, besides Brother Patah.
Right.
Would you, and they told you they were voting for Trump, is there any way that you would cancel their friendship?
I know two black men, one I would call a friend, that told me they were voting for Trump. He articulated his reasons, so I listened, and so I did not cancel him.
You didn't slap him?
I didn't slap him because his reasoning was pretty decent. I think people fall out with Trump supporting people because oftentimes they have to be combative. They're very combative because they always are like having to defend their positions. And so I think we fall out with the rhetoric they be talking about, not so much the vote.
Now do you think so?
My niece, well, no, Janine's cousin, you know, she's young enough, so I always think of like a niece. She broke up with her boyfriend.
Ooh.
when he voted for Trump, she was like, "Oh no, that just means that he doesn't like black folks." That's basically.
Was he white?
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, well, then you kind of killed that point right there.
I get into it with people about Trump all the time
Because
I'm undecided.
Oh no! How could you be undecided?
So,
I say I'm
what
undecided.
about immigration? I'm like, well, I'm a U.S. citizen, and so is my entire family. That does not impact me directly. People get angry.
Okay.
I'm not from 26th Street. You know?
Okay. So let me read some of the comments from Mikal Harris's page. Because here's what he said. No, I am not voting for Trump. However, it's a shame that if I did, I would lose lifelong relationships. Y'all don't see a problem with that? Really?
I dropped Mikal a long time ago.
One of his friends said, I don't. I choose to surround myself with people of a certain level of intellect and compassion for others. If your political leanings tell you that certain groups should be allowed to dictate the rights and liberties of others, I'm good. The small-mindedness directly impacts other liberties in the future. We likely have little to engage about anyhow. This is not to you directly, but just in general. Here's another one from someone that we know. No, I don't. I don't need to be friends with anyone that supports a person who doesn't see nor support my humanity. Let me see. Nope. Trump has done harms to so many while empowering white supremacists. A vote for Trump is an endorsement of white supremacy. If this was merely a difference of political affiliation and philosophy, I would definitely understand you seeing this as an issue. This isn't that. Trump doesn't just represent a difference in politics. This is a fundamental human rights difference and a differing view on humanity. I could never tell anyone who to vote for, what I can control in my space, and whose energy I allow in that space is that space. I've lost a lot of friends all over this election. I thought that people who I thought I knew very well for years turned out to be closet racists and misogynists. My husband said goodbye to a few of his friends, too, over this. It's terrible. I think Trumpers are in a cult. These are real comments from real intellectual people. And he's talking about lifelong friends. Nope. There is no problem with it. I have posted several times on my page that if people support Trump, they need to unfriend me. Why? Because his lack of morals and values and his disdain of black people and people in general is just too much. Anyone that supports him is doing so for selfish reasons, so that they are brainwashed and obviously doesn't really care about humanity or me and my black skin. I'd lose a lifelong friend because of their view differs from mine. We probably were not really friends, and one of us didn't know it. They didn't just because Republicans 4 years ago. They didn't just become Republicans 4 years ago. Let's see. Let me see what else. Some of those comments, right, are very powerful.
I got a few friends who are Trump supporters, and I haven't cut them off, even though I can't understand how they cannot see him as a little Benito Mussolini.
They have to know who Benito Mussolini is, and they have to be relative. I mean, Benito Mussolini was a person in part of the Axis, right? I get it, and I know, and I'm somewhat of a history major, but like realistically, no one has any perspective on that. They have perspective on it because they may have learned it or they carried in U.S. history class. But what I find so amazing about this is the willingness. Here's another one. I hate to lose my friend, but truthfully, we could not be like-minded or equally yoked as friends if your conscience would let you vote for that idiot. Only a person who lacks moral fiber, spirituality, a belief in science, and respect for others would vote for him, and I don't have any friends like that. No, at this point it is very clear. His bigotry and hateful rhetoric is blatant. Racism is not tolerated. In fact, tolerating racism is racist. He continues to show and display unconscious perspectives and lack of care for Black and people of color talk. People of color folks, Latinos, Latinx, and the Black community, and women in general. I can go on and on. At this point, if you support Trump, then in action you are co-signing for his disgusting behavior and align with his beliefs and values, if you are willing to admit it or not. This is not about voting Republican. This is about voting for Trump and keeping some of the people in his current administration in seats of power. He needs to be out of office. Biden may not be the best candidate, but I believe it will lead us to a better direction. I've unfriended and one will continue to. I haven't read the comments, but I'd still love you, but no, we can't be tight. I don't align myself with those who have values such as those I see in Trump supporters. It's not about politics, about the condition of the mind and about the heart. It's about people who care about other humans to point they refuse to have a leader who devalues other humans. No, we wouldn't have any fellowship, but my love for you would be unwavering. If you needed my help, I'd be there for you. Then bye. You wouldn't be my type of people. Just keeping it real. And yes, I've listened to their reasons for voting for him and have determined that they are not my kind of people. Personal preference. I don't hang out with a lot of different types of people. I shouldn't have to. If we were having this conversation about Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, any Republican of common moral character at a base level, a president who respected the traditions of the institutions of our government, or at least one who was breaking to build back, who was breaking to build back better. I could understand the place of this discussion, but today in this election, this is not a partisan issue. The republic is at stake. It's not programming. This is a threat to our continued existence as a nation of laws. People warned about Trump in 2015 and 16 and they chose to believe it was just another election. This dude is a different animal. What they are doing to the institutions of this country, they are not healthy for us. We are about to go to full-on dystopia. We can disagree on many things, but when you can support someone who questions my right to exist, that's when we part ways. It's really that simple. That man would watch black people burn if it meant that he gained something from it. How is this still a question? No, I really don't see it as a problem. You cannot be anti-racist and pro-him. There are no parts of him that in this movement one can take and remain untarnished. It is that same mixing of teaspoonful of doo-doo into a single chocolate cake with strawberries, frosting, sprinkles, and candles. It doesn't matter how many other delicious ingredients are in it, it's still trash, and it's harmful. That's pretty deep, yo. And that was for a lifelong friend. That was for a lifelong friend. Hey, would you cancel a friendship over a Donald Trump vote? Give us a call. 872-259-7474. Those were all direct comments. The names, I didn't read the names only because I didn't want to, I didn't want to put anybody on blast. But those were all direct comments.
I think one of the quotes that you read, somebody said that Trump is a threat to our system and laws. So I think that's where the two sides of the coin meet. Because some people might think, well, we need some threats to this system and these laws. And then the other people are like, no, we got to vote Democrat to save America. It's almost like you feel like you're doing like a patriotic American duty by not voting for Trump. But then the Trump supporters feel like they doing an American patriotic duty by voting for Trump. So that's why it's a true clash.
Yeah, it's just fascism against open democracy.
Let's talk about it though. I am that reading that post, that was pretty deep to me. Lifelong friends. No dialogue. That's really interesting. It's really, and I really want to talk about it because I really do sometimes think that we've lost historical perspective. I was just thinking about people who said you shouldn't even talk to Trump. I just find it hard to believe that right now you're gonna need a stimulus signed. You want a stimulus package signed. You got all types of things happening, and we still believe that it makes no sense. I'm not saying vote, but I do. Like the ability to be black people to be divided over a white person is still an amazing thing to me. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll talk about it when we come back.
We'll be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Now you can join Milwaukee's World on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 on What's in It for the Black People Media.
We fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh my God. Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. It's time for the social media question of the day.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show, and let me tell y'all in the Facebook chat, and I see y'all. Look at this. This is so divisive, man. People calling each other MFs and all types of stuff in the chat. Y'all,
Religion and politics.
Well, we're gonna talk about it because I think it's so bothersome to me that we can't even talk. You can't even talk about it. And I don't know where. It's funny to me, like when you was mentioning the patriotism of it all. And
everybody patriotic right now, right?
Right. Like they got their American duty.
That's why you feel like it's gonna be a war.
Huh.
I don't feel that way. I never felt that way.
Oh, I do. I feel like I believe.
Even if it's an ideological war.
I think that.
There's always a war. It's an ongoing war.
I think there's going to be a war. It won't be. I mean, I think it's brother and sister. This is like some Revelation stuff. Like brothers fighting brothers and sisters fighting sisters over
the Civil War.
Man, Charlie. Let's go to the live line. Let's go to Byron. Byron, you're on the Maze Jackson Show.
Good morning, people.
Good morning, Byron.
Hey, good morning. Hey, you know what? If you have that Ruthie Moore Google Biden and racism, she'll find out certain things about that white boy. Okay? So it's not about which white boy you like and which one you don't. It's which one is going to do most for us. And Ruthie Moore, I got a question for you. How come Biden takes credit for everything that Obama did? He's on the campaign telling us he did this. He killed Gaddafi. He gave us a health care. I thought Obama gave us that stuff. Why is he getting credit for it?
Ruthie, like,
that's a real question. I don't know, Byron.
That's a question for you, Ruthie. I want you to go answer that question.
Because he don't want to mess with Todd. He already knows. He know Todd, like, I don't care. But, well, Byron, I don't think you could put that on. I mean, I think that's the whole point of politics, right? The whole thing is if you touched it, then you claim it, right? So if you were to talk to Dick Durbin would tell you, But no, Dick Durbin would tell you that he stopped Trump single-handedly if you watch his TV commercial. No, seriously. He was the person who saved us from COVID the first go-round. So I really want you all to be realistic. Like, and so I ain't going to put that question on Ruthie. Because, you know,
all right, no problem. But
that's rhetorical.
But let me tell you something about Trump.
Tell me.
The Republicans don't like that guy either. The Republicans don't like Trump. I'm telling you, he's like a government wrecker. He doesn't do things the standard way where we get nothing. He said this doesn't work. This doesn't work for nobody. Let's do something different. He's making things different, hard for everybody. Believe me, those guys, Republicans, they don't like him either. I know the Democrats don't like him, but the Republicans definitely don't like him
Byron,
either.
let me ask you a question. Are you voting for Trump?
I have to vote for freedom.
So see how you look. So let me ask you a question.
Yes, Mace. On the record, I'm on the record. I'm voting for Trump. And a lot of my friends are too.
Wait, a lot of your friends are too. Let me ask the question.
Yes, but they can't say anything. They can't. Otherwise, they'll be canceled. They'll lose their jobs. They lose their friendships. Just like you were talking about. I have a whole bunch of friends that are going to vote for Trump. Byron, you guys don't know what's coming.
Byron, I'm telling you, So do you think that people are actually holding their vote, there are people who are not saying that they'll vote for Trump because they're worried about actually losing friends, literally?
Yes, they're scared. Because they're being canceled. Maze, if you tell somebody you vote for Trump and you lose your job, you probably commit suicide saying, I wish I had never said that to that person.
No, I wouldn't commit. That's why we got my own. That's why we got what's in it for the Black People Media. That's why I signed the front of my check.
But Maze, I'm telling you something about yourself.
Say for $1.
But Maze, this lockdown is a control thing that's going on right now. They're controlling us with this lockdown, and it's going to get wider and wider. The more power you give them for the lockdown, the more power we concede to them. And that's why I'm saying we have to go with freedom, open up the economy, and take the little risk that comes with it. Because locking down is not good for us.
Damn. All right, Byron, I'm going to let you. Man, Byron, you call me. I'm still going to be your friend. So you can call me. And I'm still take your call no matter what Todd and Ruthie say.
Birds of a feather flock together. So Byron telling me that his friends are voting for Trump did not surprise me at all.
All right. Thanks, Byron. All right, let me go to Frank. Frankie on the Maze Jackson Show. Frank, you gonna cancel your friends if they vote for Trump?
No way. Okay, oh my God, Byron, I had such high respect for you, but I'm going to leave it right there. Brother Mays, I agree with every comment that you read. That proves me that I'm not crazy. First of all, good morning, Brother Ray, Brother Mays, Brother Todd,
good morning, Frank.
Morning. And Sonia. Mays, brother, your social media question be so powerful, I just be happy to call in and jump in on it. To vote for this man would be like a black person in the 20s voting for the Grand Wizard of the KKK. It would be like the field Negro during the time he was in bondage, voting for the slave master, whips him, mutilates him, rapes his wife, take his kids from them. During this time period, during this climate, I took it one step further. Not only would I disassociate myself with you, but I have told family members, if I find out you voted for Donald Trump, the Republican Party, I will block you from my phone. I don't want no invitation from you. I'm not going to invite you to dinner.
Well, wait, Frank. Let me ask a question. So you saying that like you got some family members that you nervous might be considering voting for Trump? Is that like? I mean, I think if you got to put that out there, then you obviously got people that you know that are thinking about voting for Trump.
During our family discussions, when I was laying different things out about what's going on, I can read the expressions on their face. They dare, I said what I said. They dare not tell me that they're going to vote for Donald Trump. I will cut you off in a heartbeat. And this is why entertainers and black people in political arena, you know what I'm saying, are backing this guy, the few that are, because their family members aren't coming down on them because they're bowing down to their money. I don't care who you are. I'm not having anything to do with what Kim Kardashian or Kanye West promotes, advertise, Michael Irvin, not Michael Irvin. Who was that? Something took my tongue.
Herschel Walker.
Running back.
Herschel Walker.
I threw his jersey away.
You ain't had no Herschel Walker jersey.
Yes, I did. Herschel Walker and Tony Dorsett. Yes,
Okay. You're a Cowboys fan? All right.
I will cut even family members off and told them that this man is dangerous. And Byron, I still love you. Oh my God, you shot the living you know what out of me.
Oh, Frank, I gotta stop you right there because I gotta go to the break. But that, can I just tell you something? You heard that?
This is America.
But the challenge is that's why I don't trust any of the polls. That's why I don't trust any of the polls. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago. The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
WIFTBPM.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Randy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve us.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore in the building, y'all. Sonia Escobar. We are flying at 60,000 feet. Trying to get it done right now. Sonia, Maze and Sonia, and Ruthie and Todd. Y'all know we all come from God. Shout out to Remy Steele.
Do people use people's votes against them? Like, say, for example, if you vote for Trump in November and then...
They're not supposed to be able to know.
That's what I'm saying. Then in like 5 years or something, you run for office
Yes.
and they're like, you voted for Trump in 2020. Like, do people do that?
If you said it out loud.
Yeah, if you said it.
If you said it out loud, yes. Like they're trying, like Dick Durbin is trying to use it against Willie Wilson.
In that commercial, right?
Yeah, whatever. he ain't spend a. You know what? I heard that Dick Durbin has a black operative that I know who shall remain nameless, who hasn't brought Dick Durbin to What's in It for the Black People media. Like, I mean, so I know that if we're contrarian, this would be the place where they would come talk to the black people. You know, like, I feel like, why isn't Dick Durbin coming to sit down with black folks and giving us his story? I mean, I'll give him a fair chance to talk. I've always been respectful, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't really know you and Dick Durbin's history, but I think so.
Well, let's talk about it.
Well, Dick Durbin probably feel like he ain't got a campaign to What's in It for the Black People because he stuck his name on the sign with Biden and put him in our neighborhoods.
Yep. What's in it for the black people? All the lies we done heard before. It's time to pay attention. You gotta do what is meant.
You gotta do more than
listen.
Take some action.
Come on.
And look down.
And be.
You were rolling. And Kelly put the spotlight on you. You were rolling. Then you're like, uh-oh.
That was an assist.
That's but you know that's what happened when you put the spotlight on yourself. It's like when you know like the main parts of the words, but you ain't get the whole thing.
Right.
And then it's like when you the other parts you know, then they be like, hold it. Then they put it on you and you be like, wait.
Yeah,
that's the part I made it to. All right, Joe. Let's go to. We got one more call. Let's take the call. Would you cancel a friend over their support of Donald Trump? Who's on the line? Caller.
This is Mikael.
Oh, Mikael, what's up, man? So shout out to this is my pledge.
What's
son,
up,
too.
Pop?
What's up, son?
What's up? First of all, I love the show, and what's in it for the black people is a question that all black people need to ask. But I don't think, now I'm not voting for Trump, I meant that. But I don't think black people ask that question to everybody. And I think that Dems are just running on the racism card, and we don't question them about anything. So in all the social media outlets and media, it's always Donald Trump's a racist, Donald Trump's a racist, Donald Trump's a racist. But nobody actually talks about what Biden's plan is. And I just think black people, we have lost perspective. We have lost historical context. And it's easy for white people to divide us. So no matter who wins, we'll still be divided anyway. So we won't win either way. So I just don't know how people can cancel a lifelong relationship, not an acquaintance at work, but like you're a guy you grew up with, just because they vote for somebody else. Because I have friends like that. But it doesn't bother me because
you're not voting for Trump.
What you say?
I said it shouldn't bother you because you're not voting for Trump anyway, so it's no biggie. That's not gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not voting for him, but it's people that's helping the community and they're voting for Trump.
Really? So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you heard of black people that are supporting Trump at all?
Who, me?
Yes.
Have I heard? Oh, yes. I know people who are, yeah. And some of them are actually police officers, too.
Now,
so everybody votes their own personal interest. So everybody doesn't vote because they want everything for black people that they want. Some people have their own personal interest, like 50.
Right.
You know.
He paid taxes and he like, man, I'm gonna be at 62%. He gonna move to Florida. So I guess Mikael, because you're a pretty rational guy, right? Like Mikael used to be the guy, you know how I told you I used to test stuff up. Mikael would be the guy that would be like, look guys, we really don't need to do this. Let's figure it out. Mikael, how do we as black folks stop allowing white folk issues to divide us? Because quite frankly, in my estimation, we're arguing over two racist white guys. And really, it is tearing at the fabric of our community because there is obviously, in my estimation, the Democrats have created a hole somewhere that has not been addressed that would even make people who are black even consider. Like, I almost feel like, are you saying that everybody is stupid but you? Like, black people don't recognize racism. They don't recognize, like, I feel like there's this implication that if you could possibly, that you're stupid. Like they honestly believe like you can't, like you want to be, you want to go back to slavery. And I don't know if that's it or if it's the frustration of the hitting ourselves on the head and being told that the boogeyman is coming, and people had the boogeyman, and for all of his bluster, they did have a job, right? They did see their 401ks go and do better, right? And they've dealt with racists at work every single day. Yesterday I had a post about racists at work, and it was one of the most popular ones I had. And it's like people talking about what racism they not gonna deal with, but every day they gotta sit through it at the job and keep their mouth shut because they understand a bigger issue. Help me understand, how do we stop throwing each other under the bus over these white folks in your estimation?
Well, first of all, I think you have to let people be who they are, number one. So you can't control what somebody else thinks. Number two, if I had to pick a racist, I'd pick the one who say he is instead of the one who doesn't. Because the assumption that people make is that there are no racist Democrats. Like, they don't have their own, like when he was kneeling down in the African print and stuff, I was insulted by that. I didn't think it was cool at all. It was the dumbest thing I've ever saw, pandering for black votes, and we fall for it every time. I think people like you who start grassroots things and you stand on it, most black people won't stand on their belief if it was going to cost them their job, or if it was going to cost them a position. So they're really not real in their beliefs anyway, because they won't defend it to the end. Most of us are Facebook activists. They're not actually doing anything anyway. That's what insults me when people say this type of stuff. And there are the average person right now who says they'll cut off a relationship if you vote for Donald Trump. If money was involved, they'd keep the relationship. And I will put my money on that. That if somebody giving your program $250,000 a year and they're voting for Trump, you're not going to cut that relationship off because it's beneficial to you. So the way I feel about it is people have to love each other. Black people have to love each other to the extent that no matter who the other person votes for, if it went down, they protect that person because they look like them. So I think most people are just opportunists in their own way. But they'll call Donald Trump an opportunist. But most people in their own way, that's all they are anyway. That's how I feel about it. And I'm not voting for Trump. I keep saying that, but I like to challenge people about why would you cut people off if they do? It doesn't make sense to me.
Man, I appreciate that, Mikhail. You've always been logical and rational. Ruthie, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I just want to insert into this conversation that just the idea of social media and how that is really influencing all this, and that we should never forget that African Americans were the most targeted in the Russian disinformation campaigns. And so I think that really is important for us to note about how that we're being influenced by rhetoric, and it might not even be us that's talking to each other.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. Well,
like that's how they got us in the last.
Did you watch that Social Experiment on Netflix? Chicago Famous was talking about it, and I watched it in the Social Experiment, and it was showing how the social media companies fight to invoke us and they want to have both sides. Mm-hmm. So like they created a march division within a home, and the brother was on one side of the march and the sister was on the other side of the march, and they wound up fighting each other at the march because of the social media programming. I think
you ought to know that I'm taking Mikhail off my Christmas list. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know Mikhail. I'm just joking.
Yeah, okay. So, but he's not voting for Trump, but he does like the debate. Can I tell you something? I almost feel like, I honestly, I enjoy pushing people's buttons. Okay? I do. And I enjoy debate. I enjoy watching people prove their point beyond just, the general talking points. I would tell you that if I was an undecided voter, which I still remain, the level of vitriol that I have seen people take would almost drive me to vote against the people who have attacked. Right? Like, I have often said throughout this process that if this was a fragile relationship and it was teetering, if this was a car and it was on an edge, on a cliff, and your actions could decide whether the car fell off the cliff or stayed, and you were able to save the people in the car. And every word that you used was a brick. And it either went on the side that's on the cliff, that would take you off the cliff, or the side that would make the car stable to allow you to stay on it. Where would your words land? Would you throw people off the cliff? Like, are your words that you're using to undecided people, are they bringing them closer, or are they pushing them further? If the last words that they heard before they early voted were what you said to them as a Biden supporter or a Trump supporter, how would the last words that you typed, said, or communicated to someone affect their vote? I used to be a field director. So we would put people on the phones and we would have them call people who we thought were going to be likely voters. And what we did, and I keep trying to explain this, is we would call them, we were in what they call persuasion mode. Persuasion. So if I get you on the phone or I engage you in social media, I am trying to persuade you to come to my person, to my vote, to my side, because in an election that came down to 10,000 votes in some of these towns and places where people showed up, how many people have you driven to the polls? How many people have you driven away from the polls? And how many people have you driven to your opposition or to your candidate? So what I would still say to all of the geniuses is that you have 2 weeks until election time. For everybody that hasn't mailed in a vote, for everybody that's going to go turn in, for everyone who is still undecided, if I were advising you as black people for Biden, I would consider changing your approach to people in the digital space. If you call people stupid, they're not going to come to you. And I would tell you that you are the ambassador for your candidate. You are. So if somebody walks into your crib, comes to your meeting, and starts telling you filth and flarn and filth, and you ain't this and you ain't that and you stupid is, how do you respond towards what their ask is? Now, this is politics. This is game. Now you can be smarter, but the game is addition and inclusion, not subtraction and division. Are you a plus times person, or are you a minus divide person? Track your comments. Track the person that you told that you would not be their friend anymore if they didn't do what you told them. Imagine when someone gives you an ultimatum. The worst thing you could do to me is give me an ultimatum because I'm gonna make you test it. I'm gonna make you test it. Because you'll need me before I'll need you. You need black people to go turn out and vote for your candidate. Because you can't rely on white women. You can't rely on Latinos. But you cutting off black people. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people, 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 for the black people. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore.
Grab your linen suit.
James Say said I was stepping for the black people.
Shout out to Tyrone Tate. He hit me in the inbox and was like, "Hey, Maze, I just want to thank you for opening our eyes, listen to you all the time." And so he sent us a version. He said that's not the final mix, but it was the what's in the like. Y'all keep them coming. Just keep them coming. Like if you so he said y'all need a what's in the for the black people steppers cut. Sonia was all. I wish I had seen her. She had her steps. She had the spin back, right? Look, man, we gonna be breaking new songs right here. Like, could you imagine? So I'm gonna tell y'all. Y'all need to invite me to the party. If y'all ever play this at an event, y'all play our songs. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. We can make some hits here if we wanted to. We definitely can make some Chicago hits.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm starting to think we need to
we need a juke mix.
Ooh, a juke mix. What's in for what? What else we need?
Get down, black people.
Oh, get down, black people. Oh, that's a good one. We need a country version. What's in it for the black people?
So this means we're gonna have an independent record label.
I mean, here's the thing: if we had an independent label, we would have our own vehicle to play our own music.
Right.
So then we don't have to do no payola because I could just come in here and say, "Here go y'all playlist." But I was just thinking, like,
I need some new shoes. Payola don't sound so bad.
Ooh, you know what? I'm thinking though, we should have a Chicago. We should get all the Chicago original music we can get, and put them in our commercial breaks. Cause then I ain't got to worry about the Facebook.
Right.
We have another reason for black folks to come and utilize the vehicle, and we can break our own music.
Ooh, Angela, yes, a reggae man.
Ooh,
Where should they send it to, man?
Man, you know what? How about send it to Maze at wiftbmedia.com. Maze at WIIFTBP media.com. Now, Sonia, we're going to have to put you in her.
Blues mix. Oh, yes.
Oh, a blues mix. We need a blues show.
Jazz.
A jazz. We need a doo-wop. That's what Salim is going to do, a doo-wop.
Doo-wop? Do they still? Oh, he's going to do a version. Okay.
He's going to do a doo-wop version. Right? I'm saying like this. You know how like on the big shows where they be having 3 million versions of like, it's the such and such morning show, and everybody do it. I want all of our creative talents to give us a what's in it for the black people. You know what? Also, we should open up the phones. Like I was thinking one of these days we should have people say, this is such and such, and I want to know what's in it for the black people, and we should just have clips of everybody.
This is so and so calling from the south side.
Yep. What's in there? I want to know what's in it for the black people.
I'm calling from the low end,
and I want to know what's in it for the black people.
Man, I wish I'd learned the banjo. I'd have a bluegrass version.
Ooh, yeah,
a banjo?
bluegrass.
What's a banjo?
A banjo.
A female. That's a female banjo. He said a banjo. He said, I wish I would have learned the banjo. I was like, what is a banjo? You know banjo.
You know a little bit about Spanish, huh?
Sí. Poquito. Pequeño. Poquito. I remember, cierra la boca. That's all I remember the most. Cierra la boca.
What I remember, I can't say.
Because I used to talk all the time in Spanish class, and so Miss Graziano would be like, cierra la boca. I'll be like,
what is that?
Shut up.
No.
Close your mouth. Sierra.
Close your mouth.
Close your mouth. Okay.
My kids are so cute. Como se dice airport?
Como se dice airport? Now just be like Google. Here, talk to the translator. All right, y'all. Well, shout out to Tyrone Tate. What's in it for the black people? Steppers mix. What's in it for the black people? For the black people. Hey, y'all. We're going to be breaking new music right here. You know what? Can somebody, y'all want to impress me? Get Crucial to do us one. You want to impress me? Get Kanye. Get Do or Die. Get everybody. You know who I really wish was still here to do it?
Who that?
Johnny P. Man. Rest in peace, Johnny P. He was the reincarnation of Sam Cooke. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. Hey, so I was watching our show. Israel. We'll take Israel's call. Israel, you on the Mace Jackson show?
Yes, sir, my brother.
Hello? Oh, what's up? See,
yeah,
now y'all Israel's done got me all confused. I thought you was about to be Jake. I almost called you Jake. What's up, Israel? How you feeling, my brother?
It's all because the blessing about it, we all Israel, and that's the problem. That's why we sick, boss. We don't know who we are. We still calling ourselves black, colored, afro. That's a hairdo. They called us afros years ago, but I ain't even think go there right now. It's just 400 years of brainwashing is so hard to overcome, man. You know, I got a lot of respect for you. I think they tried to mother you on that other station. You know, you did your thing. But I called him because my mom used to tell me, may she rest in peace, son, don't talk about religion and politics. And I never knew what she was talking about. So one day I realized those are my two favorite subjects. So, man, we still in slavery. They just took the chains off our hands and put them on our brains, man. And you know, all politics is local. 99% of people have never even meet the president. They ain't never met Barack, one of the 30 draws and all that, but politics is local. I know you know, Maze. Our people don't know. Our people just confused, man. We'll vote against something, but we won't vote for something. Like I say, 400 years of brainwashing is powerful. 99, like I say, percent of people won't even meet the president. The money comes from the Fed to the state to the local. Then they give it to the unions and the non-for-profit. Then they jump it right back up to the kickback. So local Joe citizen never even see none of the money. You know,
man,
all I do is try to pray for our people, man.
You know, that's why I appreciate you, Israel, because, you know, you be out there on the front lines, but also one of the smartest brothers I know when it comes to tracking down where them bucks are going and how we need to participate. Let me just say this, y'all. I think that we got to... It is painful for me to know. And Todd, this what we heard right here is how Mike Madigan can control people. They can create, I don't want to say an imaginary enemy, but they can take a small situation and use it, and they know the path to division of black people. Like what they have studied is how to make sure that we stay apart. What issue and then stay on message to do it.
I like to say shalom, and because I forgot to say something earlier, but also I like to say that what I'm not voting for is fascism and these Proud Boys and all the rest of these groups that want to take over the nation and make everything free, whatever that means.
Okay. I mean, I think you have every right. And I think that I would love to talk to you about why I'm undecided and how we should. It's funny because yesterday, what's her name? I don't know what the lady's name was, but she was texting me back and forth from the Biden campaign because she was trying to convince me to vote. Never did she call me stupid, right? She answered all my questions. She said, I asked her about reparations. She said, Joe Biden said that he supports a study of reparations. I asked him about the criminal justice. Was he bad about, I asked her about his support of the crime bill. She said that he said in the last debate he regretted supporting that, right? And the whole time she was like, I'm trying to keep him. I'm not trying to jettison him as a voter. And I feel as though the challenge for black folks in this space right now, and it's just really educational for me. Like, you know, as a former field general, I would hate to have a lot of y'all as my troops with an election on the line. Because I don't think that you have well articulated for a person that is not convinced. Obviously, there is something, unless you think that everybody who doesn't vote for him is just stupid, or that they can't have an alternative plan or thought process, you are doing yourselves a political disservice. And this is partially why, again, we're not able to win, because we don't really look at the whole picture. If 90% of us are over here, there's no need to castigate the 10% that are over there. We leverage the 10% over there to ensure that the 90% over here are able to accomplish things for all of us collectively.
You know, I don't have a big problem with the 10%. I think they're wrong-minded. If they didn't talk like Isaiah Thomas talking about Michael Jordan. They talk like things don't actually happen, and like this isn't the truth, that this guy has said so many things that are supporting groups that would have nothing to do with us. And the only reason they don't always say bad things about black folks is because their feeling is that Jewish people control black folks. They need to get the Jewish people.
I think that there is an education process that then needs to occur. I don't think that everybody sees and thinks as deeply as you, and not everybody, and I'm not saying you watch ESPN. So many people have tuned out.
I love
of this.
ESPN.
Not ESPN, CNN. But I think so many people, because of the level of vitriol and the saturation, so many people have tuned out. They are now coming back in and re-engaging, right? Because now it's coming down to
the wire.
The time to the wire. And I'm just telling you, particularly a lot of you, this is neither side. Your job is to persuade voters. I'm really just using this as education.
Mm-hmm.
Your job is to persuade voters. It is not to tell them that if they don't do what you say that you're going to cut them off forever. Now, you might do it after the election, But as you are trying to pile up numbers, you don't throw people out the door. And I just want y'all to think about that. I saw some of the comments that was going on in the chat, in the group chat on Facebook Live, and it was like people who, if you hear mostly on a daily basis, you obviously have some concern for moving black people forward, right? Some kind of way. You're concerned, you're interested, or you spying. But understanding that, and you're knowing that these are people that we ain't gonna never see none of them. And I'm just saying right now, same people protecting that would kill you for throw you out the window for voting for Donald Trump are the same people that would not speak a word against Mike Madigan, who is doing you personally right here every day. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Boys, step aside. The Radio Rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out chicagolegalnetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. So many politicians are bought by special interests and major corporations instead of the citizens who elected them. I would not be bought. I would finance my own campaign in good faith to the voters of Illinois and promise to serve with integrity at all times. I'm asking for your support as I run for U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
What's up, good people? Make sure you ascend into Muwakil's world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Salim Muwakil, a.k.a. the Black Forrest Gump, right here on What's In It for the Black People Media.
WIFTBPN.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's In It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore, Sonia Escobar, me, Maze Jackson. It's so funny to me. People quick to call you a sellout, say you taking money. Can I just tell y'all, if we was taking money, if I was taking money, I certainly would have a nicer chair.
And more snacks?
Yeah, more snacks. It's so, I think Mikal brought up another good point, which is money is hilarious to me because it's like we should, like, would you be ashamed of, like, if there's 2 shots for you to be a black strategist, right? If you want to work on a presidential campaign, you only got 2 shots, right? Democrat or Republican?
You trying to say the Green Party won't hire you?
I'm saying they can't pay you. No. But if you in business, do you turn that down? So if I got a political consulting business, and I'm saying I got a radio station. We ain't seen a Democratic dollar no kind of way. We ain't seen a Republican dollar no kind of way. right? Not fair tax. They spent $250 million last for the. We didn't see nobody got rich. Nobody did better.
Maybe I should call some Republicans I know.
I'm just saying.
You know how you get the Democrats to do something?
Get the Republicans to do it.
Yeah, you shame them.
Right. But again, I'm just saying.
You gotta shame
Think
people
about
to
this.
talk to
Think
people.
about this. I have fought for black political operatives. And even as we speak right now, we are creating those opportunities for them.
You're welcome.
Real talk. You think Dick Durbin would be running as hard as he's running right now in the black community if he didn't feel like there was some pressure? He would keep my name out his mouth too.
I knew Dick Durbin knew he was in trouble when he started having to play to that Trump card.
Right. I'm saying. But has he had the... Nobody has come here. So let's not use money as the excuse. Let's be honest with all of us and suggest that the Democrats have left a gaping hole. They have left a gaping hole. Ruthie, you had a great description of this whole thing when we were on break. How did you describe it?
I said it's kind of like the masses' big house is on fire, right? And you got some black people who are like, hey, y'all know we can probably take them out right now if we just bring the kindling. But then you got some black people that are like, no, grab the buckets of water. We cannot let this house burn down because then who gonna feed us? Where we gonna live?
Todd, then you said.
Oh, I said the problem I saw is people aren't talking about burning the master's house. They're talking about burning the house they live in. Why not just kill the master and move into the house instead of burning anything?
Mm-hmm. And then you said.
And I said, let's just burn the whole plantation down and go into the woods and let's go hunt and build us a new something.
Man, you ain't Ruthie.
But I got Ruthie on my squad.
That's true.
Right?
May's got the bullets.
The challenge for me is it's so easy to divide black people.
Can we please talk about how Russia did it? It was psychological warfare on another level. And if we don't keep talking about that, because it shows us how when you think of disinformation campaigns and the deeply rooted nature of psychological trauma, it really shows you how black people are, I don't want to say easily manipulated, but how we can be swayed. And so if we don't start paying attention to the use of technology and race relations, we can be easily swayed.
And I think that is part of, quite frankly, what I think is actually happening now. I think that if they didn't, I think that the seeds of doubt combined with reparations, combined with the Democrats' lack of, I believe that there was an exploitable hole that there was an exploitable hole that if we go to Ruthie and the Russians, and that's deep. And then you say, but let's say that somebody says there's an exploitable hole in the black community. Dang. Even when Trump said, yeah, we know y'all built the country. You helped build the country, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It is ripping the scab off because you've never heard Democrats say that. You've never heard Democrats really say, besides the black ones, saying, we know you built this country. So somebody said, what are the things that black folks are hurting about? Mm-hmm. And if I can put these in my messaging, and I'm with you, I think that that Democrats have allowed, they have allowed themselves to, they've allowed a hole to be created. It's being exploited, and their willing refusal to address it, in my estimation, is where they're playing a very dangerous game. I'm looking at the spread of the ice cube, right? And now if you were to go into the Russian thing and then you add this 50 Cent thing and this sphere of influence, I'm just suggesting like this. I believe that there is truly a hole in the black relationship with the Democratic Party. I think Mike Madigan plays into it. I think that these people jumping around on this virus thing, and it essentially, in my estimation, even when you look at how people are talking about this virus and we talking about opening up schools at the same time that they're saying we're at the peak of all of this happening, black people are like, who do we trust? Really, you're telling me that you want me to trust the same people who have time and time again screwed us over. And what I feel like happened here is the Bruce Rauner moment, which was, y'all told me it was a boogeyman. Y'all told me it was a boogeyman forever and ever. This is the most important election in my life. And nobody saw the end of the world. They saw a lot of bluster, and I'm going to say that the average American probably has tuned out because they got to make a life. They got to live. We as political people and in this game spend all our time watching Trump and all of that stuff. But I think we got to really start to look at the exploitable hole that the Democrats have, and are they going to try and close it? Because I also feel like there is the potential that while they're gaining with white women, they're losing equally with black men. Right? Like, so you count on a bump of white women in the suburbs, but I still don't know if you can 100% count on white women. You can't. I still think the Kamala thing is playing, and I think that they saw Grandpa Mike and, excuse me, I'm speaking. And we think about those same white, can you imagine a sister girl telling a white girl, excuse me, I'm speaking in a meeting? We just can't trust the tricky people. Can't trust the tricky people, and the Democrats are leaving this hole too big. Let's go to Johnny. Johnny on the Mace Jackson Show.
Hey, what's up, Dan?
Good morning,
what's up, Johnny?
You just missed some great ribs, by the way.
Now, you know what? We're going to stop taking your call about these ribs.
You know, the gaping hole is look around the community. You know, I mean, I drew straws with some people in the environment and education are the straws that I got. And, I mean, dude, like music in the schools, you know, you play the saxophone, so do I. Every morning I do my exercise. I mean, that's a privileged thing. Every child should have music exposure, coding. The Democrats are stuck on mute when it comes to the things that matter. Just not saying anything. It's like anti-Trump. So you look at these Shitoli communities that are right in front of you, you know, that is an open right up the middle because the conditions, everything, top to bottom, is just, you're getting nothing, you're getting scrap meat, man.
Johnny, let me ask you a question. Have you heard of any black people that are talking about voting for Trump?
Well, I mean, no, I'm a regular. I mean, historically, so people are just apathetic. You know, the Ice Cube piece is resonating, but he's getting roasted because, you know, they're trying to put it on misogyny and stuff like that. Bottom line, how does your community look and who wants to address this? That's where the opportunity is, because everything else is just a distraction, in my opinion.
Okay.
But you guys sound that you can tell that your money's been well spent, Maze.
Oh, I thank you. One of these days they appreciate it. One day when we famous, when they like international, they'll appreciate it. Let's go to Israel. Jake. Look, we got Israel Nation joining up. First we had Bob, now we got Jacob. What's up, brother?
Yeah, you got a bunch of other. Good morning, everybody. You got a bunch of
morning.
other that recognize and know who we are as a people. And we know. And you know, all hell broke out after 16/19 of 2019. 2019 actually ended in March. As soon as it hit, bam, the whole world shut down. Now it's reordering, recalibrating. And a lot of us, our mental capacity is expanding. And a lot of us didn't know exactly the inner works of politics I had because my sister worked in the mayor's office like in the 80s or whatever. So I've been debating with her about, Dorothy Tillman back when she didn't like her, but I liked her for some reason. As a kid, I liked her hats and stuff, and I used to know about the Zodiac and all that stuff back when I was, a young cat. So I've always been into this. So, but the masses, though, are waking up. And they like, okay, so, a lot of them just didn't know that we've been voting at a 90% plus clip for these people for the last 50 years. And there's nothing tangible exactly that they have done for us. And now the Q talking about it, he put it on a big platform that even when you debate it and you put it out there, they can't say nothing about it. But it make it feel stupid. So there's going to be some, I don't want to use the example, Todd, but there's going to be some that they don't care. That they don't care. Use me, just use me. I don't care. I just don't like him. Like, Todd, why you going to try to, throw West Side under Isaiah and Mike? Like, Isaiah, he's wrong. Isaiah, you know what he did to Mike? He got a banner with it record. Mike froze my brother out and everything. That's why I don't like that show, too. But back to politics, we're going to be all right. We're in a day awakening, and they can't stop it. Ain't no stopping the creative energy, and we're going to pick it up. And it ain't about Trump. It's not about the Democrats and the Republicans, but it's about us collectively coming together as a people, and I think, we on our way. Shalom, love.
Shalom.
Shalom. I think he's right about that. That it's always been about us, but we can't seem to understand that. And it's not about the West Side. I got plenty of friends on the West Side.
Your best friend.
I just know Isaiah Thomas is colorblind when it comes to Michael Jordan. He just cannot see him.
He can't help it. He jumped back in it. I do think that there is.
Oh, I did have a thought though that popped to me, and that we fight over this Democrat Republican thing, but ain't nobody been giving us anything. Sure, in elected body, the Democrats control things, and they haven't given us what would truly be our fair share. But the Republicans control a lot of these big businesses. How many black people working for these guys? None of them. So we ain't getting this. They say a pox on both houses.
I'm okay with that. I think what's starting to happen though is that there is a black awakening. I think that whoever ripped the scab off, and I think there was a variety of things that happened from all of these murders and marching and politics and political and Barack Obama, and I think I don't even know if it's a toxic mix, but there is a new mix and a new way. There's a new mix and a new way that a lens that black people are looking through. And there's people at the front of the line looking at it, and there's people that are going to get to it at the back of the line. But I do believe that this debate is healthy. Now, I think it's unfortunate that it's large enough to split black people. Like, I can't fathom a situation under which a political vote, unless it was against me personally, would ever divide me from somebody that I cared about.
I always say history is circular. For us, well, not for maybe you, but for me, this is like hand in hand. Black people weren't voting for him no matter what because they knew he showed exactly what he thought and what he was going to do. I think that's why a lot of people are so anti-Trump. They think he showed who he is and what he's going to do, and they don't like it.
I can hear you. What did he do to us?
He has supported the enemy. I mean, everybody's our enemy, but he is actually supported, and as I always like to say, he's been dog whistling. You don't think all these people are hopping around just because they are hopping around because they're like, oh, so the president thinks we got a chance now. It's like in that movie. We got a chance now. We can take over this country. White forever.
Okay. All right. Well, it's the Mace Jackson Show. I'm going to take a quick break, and then we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like May said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruiting. I don't want to be recruiting and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Biggest threat to Illinois citizens from Washington is health care costs and policies. Senior citizens have their Social Security reduced from Medicaid, and some of our senior citizens live off $3 a week for food allowance. Working families are facing bankruptcy over policy and limit and costs. Drug prices require decisions between food and Medicaid. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm back with Todd and Ruthie Mo. Sonia too.
See, that's what the stepping song was missing. He didn't drop our names in.
A little bop and a little bit of rock and a
No,
hip-hop.
he didn't drop our names
We just
in.
don't stop. He didn't say and Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd.
Yeah.
We gon' do it super hard because we the baddest morning show in the world and I don't give a...
Maze freestyling.
Hey, Spirit Week is coming up, y'all, on What's In It for the Black People Media. We finna smash everybody. Book of Dawn around here rigging the rules. Support us during Spirit Week. We got Tommy on the line. Tommy, before you start, Tommy, Tamiko Holt from Okamat needs custom cabinets done. So when you go into Facebook, when you go back on Facebook, can you please put your information there and tell her how she can find you because she is looking for a custom cabinet maker. What's up, Tommy? How dumb can we be today?
Hey, let me say this to you. First of all, I really thank you for promoting my business, but more importantly than that, I want individuals to recognize a simple narrative, and that is this. Right now, any black person believing, thinking, even hoping that Donald Trump is going to do something for them is an absolute fool. And this is based upon history, Maze. I didn't get to where I got to today until Todd, Ruthie. I did not get here until I stopped my stinking thinking and recognized and understood that the only way that I was going to progress in life is to shut my mouth in thinking what I thought I knew and understood that I knew nothing. I grasped onto my history and I began to listen to individuals like yourself participating on how the hell to get out of the crab bucket. That's when things changed for me. When I grasped onto the history of black people who came from nothing to make something. Until a nation of black people begin to recognize and understand that the intellectual prowess that is needed for us to change our circumstances is within us, among us. But the first thing you must do is grasp onto your history and understand a narrative that white people's whole thing toward us have been skipped the hell out of you. And so now we're in this situation where an individual is clearly coming to the microphone and stirring the hell up out of individuals who themselves have been duped. No black person has made any decisions in the United States of America that's got any white person today sitting at their table, triple in debt, about to be evicted, ain't got a damn job. No black person has done that. And yet, what we do best is to go to the other side because it's an opportunity for us to be amongst the elite. This election that's coming up now, with this man telling individuals to stand back and stand by, and individuals running...
Tommy, we got to stop you for a minute. Hold on. Just hold on. We got to go to a break. It is the top of the hour, so you are listening to the Maze Jackson Show on WBGX 1570 AM. It's What's in It for the Black People Media. We'll be right back.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTBPN.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all this, that dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies of the politicians. We need money, no symbolism. It's Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' start. They ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressor to solve them.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it on the count of 3. Let's go.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. No. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, Sonia Escobar. Hey, we're going to come back to Tommy if he's still there in a minute. Hold on. But we was just talking. No. And Ruthie was talking we was talking about pleasure. Todd, have you ever had a smile wiper?
Todd, don't answer.
Do you know what a smile wiper is?
No, but it don't sound good.
I used to love giving smile wipers.
Why does that not surprise me?
I hated getting smile wipers, but I showed so Ruthie, you said you ain't got to give me a smile wiper. That made my day. That really made my day.
Was you the person that was making everybody laugh?
When I got older, I was the person that was making everybody.
But you the person that's gonna make everybody laugh and then smile wipe you for laughing.
Yeah, I was like, don't laugh. I was. That's cool. Wait till you hear about the plier story. I'll tell you about the plier story after this break. Yes, people. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm the guy who's trying to figure out how to give you a break for a second.
Right. That was Alden Laurie. And then it was always the person that was trying to give you a break because you couldn't trust them. Because then you ain't know if it was a setup. Uh-oh. It's the Maze Jackson Show. They stop with that ping was.
Yeah, well, I've never heard that ping.
Stop with the haze talking. Stop with the haze talking. Oh, maybe it is the phone. All right, y'all. Regardless, we okay. It's the Maze Jackson Show. What y'all want to talk about? So there's a few things that we skipped over. Let's go back to Tommy. Tommy, finish up your call, my brother. I'm sorry. Tommy?
Hey, Maze, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, very quickly. First of all, I thank you for the break, man, because I went straight off the rail. I had a chance to hit the crack pipe, give me a shot of Jack, and come back to reality because I have to understand that I'm still living here with the colored peoples and stuff. But you asked about a leader, and you got one that was sitting right there in there amongst you, and we didn't even support him. I want to say good morning to Sonia. Y'all got to excuse me because I got to take another hit off of this crack pipe, and I just got to end with how damn dumb can you be? Goodbye.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord.
You know, I caught a second of the Wolf of Wall Street the other day, and there's a scene where Jonas Hill says, hey, I got something for you. Come on in the back. And he's like, man, I ain't going in the back. He's like, come on. I want to take a hit of this crack pipe with me. And I was like, what is going on? And he did. And I was like, that's the craziest thing I've seen. Well, I've seen some crazy stuff, but that's one of them. I wonder if that part was real.
So, you know what, man? That's funny. So, we were talking about, just real quick, Salim, y'all check out Salim's show on Friday. My assistant dean, or no, he wasn't my assistant dean. He was like the head of Squire Club, Alden Laurie. who is with WBZ, will be here with Salim Muwakil. Salim, ask him about the Whopper story when you talk to him. Ask him about the Whopper. And don't forget, I'll tell you guys about the plier story on the break. All right, y'all. I got a few topics. Let me tell y'all.
Pliers?
Tell me which...
I don't want to hear that. Sounds awful.
You want that Eddie Johnson stuff?
Huh?
You want that Eddie Johnson stuff?
Was I on Eddie Johnson? I don't think I was on Eddie Johnson. This is what I'm gonna say. Here we go. This is what I got.
What you got?
I got. We could talk about Craig. So I was looking at CPAC. Hey y'all, Sonia is here. I don't know if she allowed to say it. So look, we got the Wonder Twins activate in the building. We got Sonia and Sonia. They in the building. You can come in and say hi in a minute. You know what I'm saying? We gotta turn on our mic. Come say hi. What's up to the people on the camera? We ain't seen you. Hey, Ruthie, hand me some of them wipes so I don't, cause Carrie will be like, what?
Let me grab them.
Okay, so look at you. You all dressed up, got your thing going on. You in the building. It's like the family is going down. It's in the building. Hold on, y'all remember. You got it? You ready here? You can talk. Say what's up to the people. Come on over here and get in the camera.
Hey, hello everybody. Haven't seen you all in a while. It's beautiful in this. Have you all been in the studio? This is gorgeous. I love this. This is what a studio's supposed to look like.
You looking beautiful, sis.
Oh, thank you.
So what brought you here today?
I'm bringing shirts that Sonia bought for you. You know, every election year I make a shirt. So it says, I make a shirt. I make plenty of shirts now. I have a website that you all can go to.
What's the website?
tfunkusa.com.
All right.
T-Funk means t-shirts that speak value. All right. So anyway, I have a presidential shirt, a voting shirt rather. Ain't no future in your slacking. Vote. Now we remember the song Ain't No Future in Your Funk. So I had this whole thing like, I don't want to use that. Why did I have a dream with this? I promise you. So I had 3 more shirts. I had a shirt that said 2020 Rehabilitate America. That's what Sonia wanted, right? Mm-hmm. Then I had another shirt that said, oh my goodness.
My cousin.
I can't remember. I can't remember my other shirts. So Sonia bought you all some shirts.
Thank you.
Brought us some shirts.
I brought them, but Sonia bought them.
Sonia's great.
Sonia bought them.
I can't get a snack out of Maze, but I can get a shirt out of Sonia.
So tell everybody how they can get your shirts. One more time.
Well, because I had somebody jacked up my shirts and it was close to you all voting, I have shirts with me. So now I'm selling them out my trunk. Old school.
All right.
Old school.
So just call me at 708-351 0421. That's 708-351-0421. Call me, let me know you want a shirt, and I have no issues with bringing them to you. Okay? I see somebody that say I want that hashtag rehabilitate. Dr. Audrey. Man, I promise you, I had all these shirts made and they messed them up.
So hold on. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about all the good things you got. So we're going to tell people one more time what's the phone number if they want to get the shirt. You got Ain't No Future in Your Slacking Vote. Tell everybody one more time what number they need to call because you deliver. How much are they? $15. See, that's $15. And they got the girl fitted shirts, right?
Yep.
See, so the ladies, you ain't got to be wearing the big old baggy shirts. And you can support another black business. And it's our one and only Sonia. We expect to see you come in here talking about our houses, too. Real soon. You don't be. No, I don't. We know you done.
Move out the way. All Maze have to do is call me. I got his back 24/7. That's it.
There it is. And so that's what it is. Y'all make sure y'all support our lovely Sonia. Y'all buy her joints. Baby, see, I'm wiping the mic down. I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do. So that I don't get in no trouble. All right, y'all. Thank you for supporting us. And you know what? Tell the treasurer we said what's up, and we definitely want to get her in here.
Okay,
right?
No
you know what I'm saying?
I'm telling her today.
All right. Hey, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. So you got to go on the chat and pass it and post all the information. That was cool.
Yes.
Having
a very nice surprise, right?
Yes, it was. So you know what? Randy Spann said we need to hire Sonia. Sonia could come in.
Sonia got her a good government job.
She got a good. That's why she got some extra time on the weekend. She can come over here. She need to call Tennille so Tennille can put her on Mind to Your Own Black Business. Right? I mean, she can talk about her shirts and all the stuff that she did to promote black business herself.
Sonia is like sunshine.
Oh yeah, she's always
always
chipper.
bright and happy and chipper. And she got another hairstyle. Good Lord, what she do with her? You know, she be like, Sonya be like, I got every, look.
She ought to take a picture of every hairstyle and then put it on one of those poster things, you know?
She could be at the beauty shop. Like, remember how the barber shop used to have a poster?
Yes.
And you be like, I want that. Does the barber shop still do that?
They do.
Oh, you know what?
I think most people probably bring in a picture of what they want nowadays, though. Like, give me this.
No.
They do.
That's what the kids do.
What you tell them? You want the number one?
Yeah, I do. I'd be like, no, I need a taper with keep it a little long on the top. But now
I just say, give me the usual.
Right. Right. Well, my barber knows. I've been going to my barber for like 20-some years.
Whoa,
I used to go to Vern too, but you know, Vern got fancy. Vern. Hey, Sonia, Tennille says she'd love to get you on her talk show. That's on Saturday. My sister Tennille, she has a show, Minding Your Own Black Business. She'd like to get you on the show as well. So make sure you reach out to Tennille so you can promote those t-shirts as well. We want to see you do well. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. We just blew through a whole nother segment. So let's do this. We can talk about the fact that I did not know. Did you know who Craig Futterman is?
Mm-mm.
Is that the guy that you were talking about the other day with the money?
No, Craig Futterman is a University of Chicago professor who is the founder of CPAC.
Okay.
Chicago Civilian Police Accountability. You know, the people that be, hell no, we won't go. Hell. How come the black police movement is led by a white guy?
What is the black police movement?
Matt, well, according to their list, a lot of organizations that are funded by, I'll leave whose name shall be remain nameless. But it seems like all of our fights are not led by us. So I'm gonna point that one out.
So are you saying CPAC is a umbrella organization?
I'm saying that CPAC is a collective of organizations, but when I realized that it was organized by Craig Futterman, right? Who's a University of Chicago attorney, who then has organized, and you know that CPAC is the one that's out here doing all the. Remember when all them white people was driving into Inglewood, and I was like, and then they got turned around.
Yeah.
It's right again. Like white-led black movements, white-led black movements, and it was interesting because it only caught my attention because they said that 5 out of did you know that there was a committee formed to make police to review police not violence, but you know, like the tactics that police use.
Yeah, police accountability task force.
The police accountability task force. They made 150 recommendations to the Chicago Police Department, of which CPD took 5. Right. Then I was watching it because I was like, dang, they could only find 5. And then as I saw this Craig Futterman get on TV, I thought about who was put on this committee and who organized it. And even the black woman that came up, she was talking about everything but really black issues. And I found it striking. Like, she was uninformed. But I was wondering, like, who were the people that they picked? Who were these 150 people that were picked? Or no, excuse me, it was 50 people. Who were the 50 people that were picked to be on the committee? And how come we don't know none of them? Or do we know any of them? And where were the recommendations that they came up with? When I was listening to the black lady on there talking, Craig Futterman we're talking best practices around the international world and blah, blah, blah. And the sister was like, but we ain't taking care of the transgender least protected. And I was like, how come we didn't hear black in this? Like, the people getting killed on TV are black. How is it that the spokesperson chosen, and is like the least informed spokesperson that they chose to be on the show was the sister? And here is our fight being led. Police accountability and reform. Would you suggest that that's a fight that would be led by black people or white people?
I'd expect black people. I would expect.
Right? So imagine when I turn on, and again, from the crime lab. They got, I think University of Chicago got crime sold up from the top to the bottom. Ruthie like, let me get off this. She like, okay, so I'm gonna stop because Ruthie is like, this is like, Ruthie on University of Chicago is like Todd on Madigan. So look,
but Ruthie, that's social work though. Is that social work? Would that fall in that social work?
Ruthie said, "Don't get me talking." Ruthie, you get a pass.
Okay, thank you. But the University of Chicago they have professored everything. Like from crime to healthcare to just general social services.
So every little niche they got.
Every little niche. And
they got the expert, the recognized expert, and then they get to set the policy.
Right.
So again, you got to imagine, imagine that when we see all of those Subarus lined up to come into, I mean, it was like literally an invasion. And you see all the white women with tattoos and very short haircuts and shorts. Y'all making fun of me, but they do. They look like they all work at Whole Foods. And they are rolling into our neighborhood with these caravans. You wonder how come. Now, we'll see the young black activists as the tip of the spear. But coming behind that tip of the spear is all of these white folks. And I'm just telling you, it was crazy for me to turn on that show and see this guy as the credible spokesperson. And then when you go through the list, okay, I'm through. Like, I got the cut it sign. Ruthie gave me the cut it sign. So we're going to go to break. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduce property taxes, and economic opportunity for all. I want to get to know your neighborhood and the problem that you face every day. And I want to serve every man, woman, and child in the state of Illinois. A vote for me is a vote for you.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. 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 What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people. 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 What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? let's show it.
You are listening to What's in It for the Black People Media. Shout out to Tyrone Tate for What's in It for the Black People. Don't do it for the black people. Who is making the reggae mix? We need a reggae mix. We need a drill mix. No, we don't need.
With some bullets, Maze.
No, we don't need no drill mix.
That's Chicago. You said you want to hit all the cultural aspects of Chicago.
Hey man, that's a step. Tyrone's like, man, he said he's not really a singer. He's dipping into singing. He's really a gospel rapper, right? But he said this was his attempt, and he said, this ain't the perfect, but I just, I think we got to have all types of versions like this, right? Let's break Chicago music. And I think black people love it. It's almost like, when you hear that, it's almost like hearing Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd. It's like when you hear, what's in it for the black people, you just be happy to hear that somebody care about you.
Yep.
All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. So much for CPAC. How about this one? COVID Part 2. Or Part 3, depending on somebody. Depending on Part 3, depending on where you're counting it. But I'm going to say this is COVID Part 2 is upon us. Would you agree? This is the COVID part that they talked about and predicted, and they said that for the next 10 to 12 weeks, this is going to be the worst of the COVID that we've ever seen.
That's like 2.5 months?
Yeah, Christmas week. Like, cancel Christmas. Then I just want to say, so let me back up. This is why I'm confused, guys. This is where I feel as though there is a disconnect between the world, Trump, and the Democratic message. Okay? So we castigate Trump for taking off his mask and all of this stuff, right? Like, and having these rallies. Even as we move into...
That's right, Tony.
what everybody is calling, and they predict it as the biggest part of the COVID surge. Mm-hmm. And we are castigating him for that. Right? Now, we just saw a plan where CPS is planning on moving people back into schools. Do y'all understand how that's mixed messaging for me?
There is economic pressure on all the people who make decisions.
So, again, so what makes... Okay. So, they're planning to open schools. Let me ask you another question. Are we still planning on trick-or-treating? Remember what was Clorox, Mayor Clorox? Remember when we released the plan the first day of October? And we was like, but didn't we say that we was going to be in the midst of a COVID? Did you see that Dr. Arwadi told you don't invite nobody over for the holidays? Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm lost as to what we are doing. You see that the mayor is threatening to send us back to level 3. Downstate, they've already went back to level 3. JB has put them back, which means no indoor dining, right? Limits to 10 and 25 of gatherings. The city has seen its highest COVID rates since COVID happened. Right now. Mm-hmm. Right now. Should we not be staving off what happened? Like, should we be locking down now? Or are these decisions being made? Like, Catholic school is back open. It's back open. They got a hybrid program. You go 3 days, 2 you off. Suburban schools are even though they have advisements not to open, they are opening. And how does this work? This kind of science thing? And it goes to my point of, what is safety? And like, who literally do we trust? Now, I'm looking forward to having Janice Jackson on tomorrow. Dr. Janice Jackson on tomorrow. Because I want to understand this. Because I almost feel like America has moved to herd mentality without, like, I think people are taking a chance with it.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Like, mask, no mask. I think that, let me back up. I think if you put a mask on, I think people are willing to take their shot. Who do we listen to? Who is our voice? Again, mayor gives us a Halloween trick-or-treat plan, and then threatens to shut the city down. Then says for the holidays, no family. Do y'all understand how I can be confused here? And we're going to open schools.
I think everything is about messaging, and you have to at least say that you told people how to take preventative measures. Everything is kind of like a just in
It's
case.
CYA.
It's like a just in case. So the guidance is like, it's like, I don't think Dr. Awadi said, don't go see your family. I think it was, these are some of the precautions that you can take before you.
Dr. Awadi said, don't have no family gathering.
She said the best practice would be to isolate yourself for 2 weeks if you don't gather with people, which the average person can't necessarily do that. Yeah. Right. So I think it's just best practices. Nobody really truly knows. But I think we can all agree on some things, which is we know that the virus is real, and put your mask on and social distance.
So go be social, then distant.
Yeah. Like Salim said, it's socially distance is oxymoronic in itself. Thank you, Salim.
Sort of like social equity. See, I did that. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be right back. I'm such
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Are you curious to explore the intellectual currents that channel our thoughts and frame our reality? Have you ever meditated for relaxation and accidentally discovered the universe in the process? These matters and many more you may never have even thought of will be yours to explore as you come with me into Muwakil's world. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1. Right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Hi, I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. People in Illinois have been crying out for justice, equality, and fairness from their government for years. And it keeps getting worse. Unfair taxes, laws that unjustly imprison nonviolent offenders. The rich get richer, and the everyday people suffer. It's time for a change, and with your help, I'm here to do it. I'm asking for your support as I run for U.S. Senator in 2020.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTBPN.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Sonia, could you hear me? I want to hear what's in it for the black people. Then I want to hear the other what's in it for the black people. Let's mix them up around here while we playing. Because Ruthie is over here brainstorming.
Yep.
Ruthie is over here brainstorming, plus all of these people. So shout out to, first of all, let me start with the kickoff of Remy Steele and Young Sage with City and what's in it for the black people. We are not equal no more. This dangerous show. You ain't trying to help us, protect us, and the competitions. Ooh.
We need money, no symbolism.
Maze and Sonia and Ruthie and Todd all come from God's.
If we united, our movement gon' start. They ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta start running. It's time to
confront the problems.
Really, you expect your oppressor to solve.
What's in it for the black people?
All the lies we didn't hurt before.
Time to pay attention. You gotta do more than listen.
Some action with it on the count of
3, let's roll. Shout out to Remy Steele and Young Sage. But then my man Tyrone Tate came through with the Steppers version.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it.
For the black people. 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 Boop, 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 boop.
What's in it for the black?
So then we got Tyrone Tate, and I'm gonna tell y'all what. Look at that. So I'm starting to think, y'all. Ruthie, you had an idea. Because I think we need some more. But first of all, I think that what's in it for the black people media, we need to start playing black home jams.
Yep.
Like songs, and we need to be an outlet for Chicago artists to get their music out. You know, Don has got Phil Seed coming today. You know Phil Seed? Phil Seed breaks the, he's a musician, composer, but they get down, right? And I was just thinking, like, how many talented black people don't have an outlet right now?
A lot.
Right? Imagine if we was doing live shows in here on the weekends. Imagine we could feature new artists. So we take this out and we set this up as a studio, and then we could do live artists on the weekends and do live shows and then and broadcast it, and you can watch it on your big screen.
And poetry sets.
Poetry sets.
I've
the
always
brother
thought
to the
Ruthie was gonna say something at any moment.
The brother to the night who says that I must take flight as I take my rotations around the sun, cause I am the one. See, you must understand that I, Mace Jackson, be the man. So if you must, put in me your trust. Free yourself, cause I am like something else. Something that you've never seen, something that you never heard. Cause yo, what's the word? It's your man, Mace Jackson. That's right. Oh, Don, we heard you laughing.
That was good, Mace.
That's
clap.
the brother to the night. Snap, snap, snap.
Oh yeah, snap, snap, snap.
Snap, snap, snap. So here's what we need. We need a what's in it for the black people poetry. Oh, Jay Ivy said he was going to do that. We need, Ruthie, but you said we should have a contest. I think we should have multiple versions and we could play. Now, how would this contest work, Ruthie? Will we ask people to make original music for the what's in it for the... So is it a contest for the what's in it for the black people theme song?
I think so. I would like to hear more. I do still want to hear that drill version.
Lamb, gang.
No way, Maze. No.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what drill sounds like, so whatever you say.
Oh,
Chief Keef,
you know what
Chief
it sounds
Keef.
like.
No, you don't.
You ain't never heard it bumping down the street. You know when you let your car
And then
window
I roll
up.
my window up.
Todd is the guy I like to be by. So Ruthie, I think let's do this. Let's take as many submissions for what's in it for the black, and I want to start taking in Chicago music. Right? Like, let's start bringing in as much Chicago music that we can play in our breaks and interludes. Right? I think that's something we should think about. Not think about, let's do it. But I want to what's in it for the black people theme song. So what versions do we have? So right now we got Tyrone Tate came up with that was a Steppers version. Mm-hmm. Hit that with the Steppers, right? Let me hit the Steppers version. Then you got Remy Steele with the rap version. Mm-hmm. We need a reggae version. Somebody said we need a gospel version.
Huh. Ooh. We're on a gospel station,
huh? What about you said a juke version.
Yes, definitely a juke version.
How did you say it was gonna go? What?
Instead, we saying get down. Yeah. Instead of saying get down, little mama, we can say get up, black people. Doom doom doom. Get up, black people.
Doom doom doom. What's in it, black people? Doom doom doom. Black. Then you gotta get Sluggo to get a Sluggo mix. Let me see. Who else could we get? We should get a Smoking on Hay version. Could we get a house version? We should get a house version.
That's good.
Right? You probably could get Farley to do it.
Well, the house version, kind of.
I don't know, man. You know,
I know you don't like house music.
But somebody just said we need a line dance. Now, that I'm gonna tell you what. If we had a "What's in it for the Black People" line dance, we'll have a #1 hit. That's what we need. And I got to do the moderating. You know, I'll be like, now to the left. Now tap your toes, seniors. To the right. Look, we could go on tour with that. We could go on senior home tour. Straight up. You know, if we had line dancing, we could be at all the park districts.
You're not lying.
No, I'm serious. And today's line dance set is brought to you by Todd Stroger. Todd, we'll have your intro, and it'll be like, hey, and I'm Todd. Right? You can come with you can wear your cowboy boots and your hat. Right?
Mm-hmm. That sounds pretty interesting. I have to buy some cowboy boots.
See, we can go to Alcalus. We can go to Alcalus. Remember, Herb Kent used to go to Alcalus where you can get your boots.
Is that in Harvey?
It's on Chicago Avenue.
Oh, okay.
But do we have any creators out there, any musicians, anybody that would be willing to help us come up with some? Yeah, see, and this is what y'all should do. Y'all should make the gospel version and the versions where I could come so I could do the talking part since I can't sing.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like I could be like, come on, y'all. Praise hands.
Yeah, you know your thing.
Yeah, I could do it, man. I'm telling you. Y'all don't want to do nothing. All right, let's go to the live line. Brother Ball, you on the Maze Jackson show. Come on, dog. Take me off. Take it off. Uh-oh, Brother Ball probably got the kids. Brother Ball kids probably had to get out the car. Brother Ball you got to watch Brother Ball's like, did you hear that? He was probably talking. He probably was like, he's singing, let's get out now.
I want to know, not Maze, but Ruthie, what kind of music would the Pembroke people want to hear?
You know what? I grew up listening to like some old school blues.
Oh.
Like
Down Home Blues.
No, really.
Down Home Blues.
My last $2.
Last $2.
All of the music
that you heard on those KTEL LPs.
Or when people do y'all know what bopping is instead of stepping?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my parents used to bop.
Yeah, that's why I grew up with people bopping.
I don't even
Next thing you know, Ruthie gonna tell us she was sitting on the Mississippi eating some kind of
she gonna be like
water biscuits or whatever the kind of biscuits they got.
Hot water biscuits.
Yeah, hot water cornbread.
Ruthie is an old soul. She gonna be like sitting in the morning sun.
Listen, so I'm named after my grandmother. And I think when you name your children after like them old names and stuff, that really has an effect. Like,
does your name have an effect on you?
Oh my goodness, my name is Ruthie Vestine.
Ah, Vestine.
Oh, you country. You straight country.
Country, like Philadelphia, Mississippi country.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
Ruthie, can you run barefoot on rocks?
Yes. We used to always, we had acorn fights. I'm telling you, growing up in a rural area we used to play outside. Like,
oh, no, I'm going to tell you, we used to do.
Kids don't get to do that kind of stuff no more.
I agree with that. I agree. Unless they live in like Beverly. Right? Where they could go. No, because I think when I was growing up, we rode bikes. So like after I did my 300 hours of chores, then I could literally jump on my bike and ride to anywhere, and there was no cell phone. And as long as I was coming down that hill before the lights, I was good.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, we used to go to the cornfield and play and build forts in the cornfields. And we used to play War on the Cliffs.
Right.
Like, and then we used to go, like, you know how when you're black and you go to like the forest preserve and it's like you stay away from the water and you don't, like when we was kids.
You couldn't swim?
No, I couldn't really swim, but we like when we went to like Pioneer Park, like in Naperville, like the white parents would let us like play army and we could like walk in the water, like put on army boots and get muddy and climb and have war and shoot each other with fireworks. Like their parents was like,
yeah, they believe in war.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I was just thinking about this, right? We did like with the white kids, we did like almost practice survivalist stuff. Like it was kind of like as natural play though.
Right.
Like literally.
That's how animals in the wild learn to
I was
play.
just thinking like kittens play with each other. They kind of play fight.
Yep.
Well, but I was just thinking about this as I'm thinking about this potential of this future that we have. I was just, as I'm sitting here talking and having this conversation, remember how I used to tell you, like, we would go play war and, like, we was literally lighting rockets at each other and, and like literally climbing off buildings and, climbing off cliffs and, like these kids been doing this stuff for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they could actually be kind of sort of ready.
Growing up, my uncles and stuff, they never hunted because we needed the food. They hunted because that was sport for them at that point. But I guarantee you, if we needed that food, they knew how to go out and get it.
Right.
We didn't fish because we needed the fish to eat. We fished for leisure. And so I think that's a shift in like the mentality from like survival to leisure. But don't mistake the two.
But I think that, quite frankly, we don't do a lot of any of that. Like, how many, besides urban street fighters, how many black kids? Man, I just was thinking like they don't go out and play.
You almost don't want your kids to be outside.
You
playing.
don't. A lot of people. I was thinking about like people actually shipping their kids away from Chicago because they don't want them to go out and play. But I was also thinking about that's part of the reason that people are saying that they want their kids to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Because of the socialism or the lack of. And I'm going to just tell you, having your kid in that computer all day, right? Next thing you know, they going to be talking to Wahid and them.
Or the feds will be talking to you.
Right, exactly. Hey, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. We only got one more break. We're going to talk about it all. We'll wrap it up when we come back.
The Mace Jackson Show will be back after this break.
What's up, good people? Make sure you ascend into Muwakil's world every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. with Salim Muwakil, a.k.a. the Black Forrest Gump, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
You fun guy.
What's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh, my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
Back to the Mace Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, and we're crooked like a mug. Oh, goodness. Should leave well enough alone. I just couldn't do it. All right, y'all. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We are wrapping this thing up. And this is not a condom commercial. Yep, you good. Wrapping this thing up. I sound like the Book of Dawn. What's her name? Dr. Gina. This is Tuesday, though. She was here yesterday. Oh, Lord. Okay. Hey, y'all. Don't forget, City So Real. This Sunday night. Y'all, first of all, did y'all see I was on with Sonny hosting yesterday? I need to say that one more time.
The View.
Sonny from The View is going to be kicking off episode 5 with a interview with me, Amara, Neil, Celis Griffin, and the creators of City So Real. If you want to see behind the scenes of the Chicago mayoral election, as well as a year later what happened, y'all got to see the part when Mayor Lightfoot say, they asked her about the, did she let the South and West Side goes up? She's like, that's completely false. It's like she who speaks with forked tongue. It's like they got her saying, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Then you got all the video. Y'all do like, that just tells you she don't drive south of Roosevelt.
Hey, that does not surprise me.
What doesn't surprise you?
That driving south of Roosevelt Park.
Unless you lecturing Ooh.
I
What
mean,
reason? What is south of Roosevelt?
You have to know somebody.
Right, because
I mean,
it
I
ain't
don't
like
know.
you going to the restaurant strip.
Well, I met her at an event.
You go in the restaurant, you go south of Roosevelt, like to the commercial strips.
Did you ever go to Gladys's restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah.
I used to love the peach cobbler in the cup when you left.
What I loved is that everything in there was from 1950. Even the plates and the well, maybe 1970.
That might have been the problem.
The plastic pictures.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, that could have been a problem.
Like, you know what's so crazy though? Think about this. Gladys's is gone and Daly's got a new building.
When I found out Daly's wasn't black owned, I was shocked.
I'm shocked right now.
I had no idea.
Because I didn't know that until you just said that.
Are you really? Okay, so when I found out a few years ago, I was shocked that Daly's was not black owned.
Even though I will say,
Where you know any
that
black
the food-
Dailies?
No.
I mean, I'm just saying, where you know the black Daily?
I will say the food is missing a little bit of soul in it, but hey.
Don't they still got them black women in there?
You know they got them
They
black
do.
women. They're in City So Real too. You should check it out. I think the whole thing of Dailies though is pretty funny that they've lasted all those years in our community and none of our businesses lasted that long. Just kind of.
You right.
Some of it is because of it seems sometimes it's hard to get the children to take the business on.
No, you need that University of Chicago connection.
Oh, Ruthie, come on, you messing up our money.
My bad.
Whoa.
But I am gonna tell you though, it is interesting to watch who gets saved and who doesn't. Right? And it's like, I was just thinking about Gladys's. Like how dope it would be to have Gladys's right now in this time. Right? They would be making all types of white money right now.
Oh yeah.
You know, white folks love them some soul food, you know. But just think somebody black could have profited off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about the Defender right now. Shout out to Roland Martin for selling the Defender building. How genius. And then moved on to see. Shout out to Roland Martin, but just think about this. Think about the Defender building. Where it sits now. White people bought it, repurposed it, and now they got memorials to us in it. As they
I was in that building once. It was a really clever building. I was like, who made this?
Man, you should see black architects probably. You should have seen you should have seen the Sing Steak office. But I just think about how we've given away our legacy in this city. And now how it's being taken. Right? Like, I was just thinking like in the 90s, who's protecting the black legacy in Chicago right now?
Well, that's all. I always say the same thing. We ain't together. We ain't together. I expect that rich guy over there to do it. That rich guy ain't interested. If we had more rich people, that would help. Or
Well,
you
y'all
don't even
gotta
have to
stop
be,
volunteering.
Yeah, rich.
Y'all gotta stop volunteering and take the ninja deal then. Like, it's like, again, black people, who, you know what, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm gonna stop because I was about to go off, but I'm not gonna have a rant before.
It's a much bigger problem, and I say that because I look at things like Dunkin' Donuts and Subway and things that are just saturating our neighborhoods, but ain't none of us involved in it.
Right. I was just thinking, and like we need to make remember McDonald's and McDowell's?
Yeah.
I don't see why we don't replicate. Like, there's no black short order cook restaurant. Like really, where do black people go to convene? Like, they starting to come to What's in It for the Black People and sit on the couches and talk. But there's not even a place where there's not a black who's who place where you could go in and walk in and sit down and be like, hey, there's blah, blah, blah. And we all sitting here eating and talking, and then we could do a deal.
I would suggest, and I could be crazy, that the fear of violence and your street organizations and people who feel, it's just like the mob. There are people who are not in street organizations, but they feel affiliated and they feel like they should be dangerous. People are afraid that when, as I say, regular folk are sitting in there, something breaks out.
Mm. So I was just thinking, we need another floor. We need a place, like right under here, where there could be a convening of great ideas. There needs to be a black spot. There needs to be a place where black people can go.
You mean like a coffee house, but the old style kind of coffee house?
Coffee house / liquor bar / speakeasy / buzz the door, you can't come in, members only. There needs to be a place where black thought leaders can convene, talk, and
fellowship.
There it is. There is no fellowship among black people.
And Ruthie bring you a plate and say, thank you, Mama Ruthie.
Yeah. And we can have all the Ruthie's.
Fellowship.
Ruthie's,
Yeah,
we could get all the women aprons. And we could teach them how to be women again. They could fry the chicken and talk by the TV set while the men sit back and drink lemonade.
I really do think that my wife was like, if I made something, she'd be like, that didn't taste that good. I was like, dang. She must think I'm trying to take her job. Man, I'm not trying to take your job. I'm just trying to help us all.
But sometimes if back before the Rona, like if I felt like I needed to be amongst like black people, I would try to find like a black coffee shop. And you're gonna always find some black people up in there and some white people.
See, and I always thought that it would be like going to to Family Den. Right? But there needs to be somewhere in between that. Like, it could be a coffee shop, but there needs to be a place where black people convene. Black people talk. Black people see each other in a positive light. Like, I think a black Soho house. Like, every time I go to the Soho house, I wind up sitting next to some white people doing something. And they be like, what do you do? And you be like, oh, and they be like, oh, this is.
Oh, they break into conversation?
Yeah. Oh, no, because the whole thing is built around, that's why they only let creatives in. Right? You can't be a suit and come in. And
it's
so
an
it's like.
artisty place.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a white artisty place. We need a place for us. A place where we can convene, think, and talk.
I always thought we could use a sports grill.
That too, but black people don't think black people could drink alcohol. Right? Man, there's 3 places on 47th that could have been those that were built, but they were denied because black folks can't get liquor licenses. Because, we got to go buy drinks from white folks in white neighborhoods and then be told we can't stay. Hey, y'all. This is What's in It for the Black People Media. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore. Now, y'all know I love peaches. Y'all know I love
I just finished my last bag of peach coffee. I gotta go re-up.
You know what? They got them in the stores now,
You got
too.
peach coffee? I never had that.
Oh,
I don't
you
drink
ain't had
coffee.
peach?
So
I
just remember.
You
I don't
have
drink
to try
coffee.
You gotta go check.
I've had peach tea. That's pretty good.
Oh, I drink peach tea,
Great
too.
prices, great service.
Great prices, great service, and damn, the food is good. Shout out to Chef Cliff Rome. He's gonna be on Minding Our Own Black Business at some point very soon as well. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. For Todd Stroger, Ruthie Moore, and Sonia Escobar. Escobar. I am the host asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
What's in it for the black people?
WIIFTBPM.
For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people.
WIIFTBPM.